It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Thank you so much for your patience during my leave. I am feeling a bit more rested and better now. Not necessarily completely healed, but definitely getting there. Today we're going to be covering a pre-freeze team, and I say that specifically with the idea of this in mind. Cream Unicorn is going to be replaced with Carol Cookie, and Clotted Cookie is going to be replaced by Sherbet Cookie. And the feather is going to be replaced by the new Halibarian Treasure Epic. In addition, Frost Queen and Snow Sugar will be getting a buff. So, this is a pre-freeze team. This team is idealistically being set up with the idea that we have some damage resistance focus, we have 2 healers, we have 1 DPS unit, and we have a unit that can inflict great debuffs against the enemy team. So, what we're going to go ahead and run is criticals on our Clotted Cream. We may be doing criticals on Sherbet. We may be doing cooldowns. We're not necessarily completely sure yet of the skill. We are running cooldowns with high damage resistance and cooldown for our Snow Sugar. We are running high damage resistance and good cooldown with attack toppings for our Frost Queen. We are running high cooldown with some good damage resistance cooldown toppings for our Cotton. And we are running high cooldown and some decent damage resistance cooldown toppings for our Cream Unicorn. So, let's go ahead and take it into the battles. See how it performs. Look at it analytically. That way you have a comparison of how this team performs before the changes, as we don't have Carol and we don't have Sherbet yet to show you what it would be like. But this is the idea of the team, the forming of the basis foundation of how we want the skills to activate, how we want everything to play out. The 2 biggest reasons this is the lineup is that you have to think Cotton has the sheep that are going to be very impactful against enemy Sherbet cookies. And we also have damage resistance that we're going to be getting from the Halibarian Treasure. That's why we have that on Cream Unicorn right now. So, it's not a guarantee that it's going to be working, but don't forget, Frost Queen and Snow Sugar are both getting a buff. We don't know how good, we don't know how impactful, but we do know that they're getting that change. So that's going to be pretty monumental just on that alone. Because you got to think right now, Black Pearl on their team, 2.8 million damage. That's a legendary status damage. Our Frost Queen, which is higher promotion, using attack toppings, is only dealing 835,000. So that adjustment might be raising the attack potential of Frost Queen, which if that were to be the case, that means that we could see some serious power punches through from just Frost Queen alone. Snow Sugar should still get a pretty good buff, but we will see. As far as healing, Cotton still does a really good job. We'll see if Carol does better. We know that Carol will heal less when it's more cookies and heals more when it's fewer, but actually attacks when it's 2 or less, which means that we'll start to see that damage number on the 5th cookie be a number as well. So it's going to be very interesting. Let's take this against a few more teams, see if there's anybody that we can beat. If the meta doesn't change too much, there may be a reason that Carol does not stand out too much, and that could be because of Black Pearl, giving that healing reduction. Could be pretty impactful, could make a really big difference. We will have to see. Another thing that could be very impactful is that people may run cookies that either can't be debuffed easily or maybe have some sort of skill protections. So it's interesting to consider what could work. Now, of course, Clotted on our side deals a lot of damage for the type of skill that Clotted has and what's going on. So we also don't know if Sherbet will perform at Clotted's level. We can hope. We can definitely hope to see that type of performance, but we do not know just yet. So these scales could widely adjust depending on how the flow of battle goes and how the team unison and the overall unity between everybody actually works out. As you can see that Snow Sugar and Frost Queen currently have a lot of struggles. They currently do have a lot of tough struggles. So I am hoping to see some really good improvements to make them stand out. There could, of course, be a bunch of other teams that may end up working very well, Maybe Carol Cookie will take the healing role, and maybe we'll do a tank instead of Cotton. It's hard to say for sure, but I'm only running Cotton right now because 2 healers was a pretty good strategy back in the day. In addition, Cotton is story lore twisted with Sherbet and Frost Queen, so there might be some synergies between them for that reason too. Hard to say just yet. Let's take it against one more team. I think we have a good chance here because the enemy team has lower treasures, but let's find out. They are running werewolf, so that's a little bit tough for us. The nice thing about Snow Sugar is that attack speed is lowered because of the snowstorm, and it gets us a lot of damage if they have a lot of critters on field, whether it be like a summoner team or something like that. If we get good defense and damage resistance from the Halibarian treasure, then that's going to be pretty impactful for us too. And actually this time, we did win the match. Now let's look at this real quick. The only difference this time is they didn't run Wildberry, they ran Werewolf. And that's because that attack speed was lowered from Snow Sugar, and Clouded was able to push Werewolf back. So, comparatively with the new cookie coming and Carol, we can't really gauge 100% how these 2 teams will compare. But, as you can see, if we can run the same level of damage, we should be in a pretty decent boat. And I'm just really hoping, if nothing else, I'm just hoping Frost Queen is adjusted to the rank and level that Black Pearl can do. Because if we can get just that even, we should have a pretty powerful legendary to go alongside in these battle teams. And you might even see some Frost Queen Black Pearl combination action too. So very potential and fun teams coming. But I wanted to give you some comparison teams of what I think might work and what I'm looking at comparatively now versus what's going to be the update on the 30th. I look forward to it. I look forward to teaching you guys what the new teams are, how they work, and I thank you so much for stopping by. Please let me know in the comments if you have any feedback, any questions, or if you just want to shout out your excitement, as I'm definitely excited. Have a great day. Thank you.